In 1997, two childhood friends from Boston shocked Hollywood by writing one of the most acclaimed films of the decade. Matt Damon and Ben Affleck's Goodwill Hunting would go on to win them the Oscar for Best Original Screenplay and launch their careers as two of the biggest stars in Hollywood. But what's often overlooked about their success story is how their background as actors fundamentally shaped their approach to screenwriting. Here's how their actor-first mindset created a blueprint for writing authentic, powerful dialogue that performers can truly inhabit. We'll also hear from working actor, writer, and producer Keith Harris, whose insights from both sides of the camera offer practical advice on creating scripts that actors can truly bring to life. You'll recognize Harris from Dope Sick, The Walking Dead, and A Walk in the Woods. You can also get his free PDF on acting at the link below. Before they were Oscar-winning screenwriters, Damon and Affleck were struggling actors. This wasn't a hindrance, it was their superpower. They understood viscerally what makes dialogue work because they had experience firsthand with what makes dialogue fail. In interviews about their writing process, they've revealed that their primary goal as screenwriters wasn't to create perfectly crafted prose, but to build a framework that would allow actors to thrive.
We didn't have any aspirations to write. We really wanted jobs as actors. That was our entire goal.
The gift we had was we had a high school teacher, really, who did.
One of the most revealing insights from Damon and Affleck's experience came from their high school drama teacher, who they credit with showing them that writing and acting weren't distinct silos. Their teacher had them improvise and create their own scenes, giving them a sense that they were writing them. This early experience taught them that good writing for actors isn't about perfect words on the page, but about creating space for authentic performance.
Really, who didn't make it feel like these were distinct silos. He had us improvise and create our own scenes and sort of semi-write them. He would really actually kind of rewrite them and make them make sense.
When filming began on Goodwill Hunting, Damon and Affleck approached their script not as sacred text, but as a starting point for collaboration. This collaborative approach paid dividends, especially in their work with Robin Williams. For the final scene, they left the camera rolling for dozens of takes, allowing Williams to try different approaches.
Well, son of a bitch, he stole my line.
This iconic line wasn't in their script, it was Williams' improvisation. Keith Harris approaches scripts with a similar collaborative mindset, but adds a methodical layer of analysis. He describes how actors should read a script 6 times, each time with a different purpose. First for initial impressions, then for fact-finding, then for environment and context.
Actor, right? If I have an audition, my agent sends me an audition, I don't get to choose what I read, right? I can say no to it, right? But I don't get a choice to say, oh, I'd like to read for this. And that's, as you go a little bit higher up the totem pole, you might have a little bit more say in that regard, but typically that's not the case. So I write something that I think works for them according to their type and their skill level.
Instead, what Harris recommends is a detective-like investigation of the script, looking for clues both in what's written and what happens between scenes. Perhaps the most valuable lesson from Damon and Affleck's approach is their willingness to let actors modify dialogue that doesn't feel authentic.
Tap prose and speak it as it's written and roll trippingly off the tongue. We were like, this is probably a disaster. I'm sure what you can do is better. All of you here who are actors are all writers, you're all filmmakers, you're all part of this thing. All of your voices are important. You're all going to contribute something that we couldn't come up with ourselves. So, please be generous.
This humility can be rare among writers, but it's precisely what makes actors feel valued and empowered to give their best performance. Harris cautions writers against dialogue that's too on the nose or exposition heavy. Instead, he recommends reading your dialogue out loud. He also emphasizes the importance of character growth. Without this psychological transformation, even visually impressive films can feel flatlined to actors seeking meaningful roles, as Harris notes about some recent big-budget productions. Harris describes an acting exercise called the contentless scene, where seemingly ordinary dialogue, such as "how are you," can take on an entirely different meaning based on subtext and context. In this exercise, actors say simple lines but with completely different emotional intentions. Perhaps one character has a bomb strapped to them trying to escape town, while another is searching for a long-lost sister. The same basic dialogue completely transforms based on the underlying context. Harris references a study suggesting that 93% of communication is nonverbal, 55% body language, and 38% tone of voice. This leaves just 7% for the actual words spoken. For writers, this means creating scenes where what's not said carries as much weight as the dialogue itself. Harris notes that exploring this dissonance between what characters say and what their body language communicates, quote, heightens the drama of the scene. The insights from Damon, Affleck, and Harris offer valuable lessons for aspiring screenwriters. The best writing for actors isn't about perfect dialogue. It's about creating a framework that allows performers to bring characters to life. As these actor-writers have demonstrated, this requires 6 steps. Understanding the actor's perspective, viewing your script as a collaborative starting point, being open to improvisation and change, creating space for subtext and nonverbal communication, focusing on meaningful character transformation, and testing dialogue by speaking it aloud. By embracing these principles, writers can create scripts that actors are excited to perform, not just because of compelling dialogue, but because they provide the foundation for authentic, nuanced performances that resonate with audiences. Thanks again for watching, and thanks to our sponsor of this week's video, Buzztown. Are you ready to break into Hollywood on your own terms, even if you don't live in LA or New York? Buzztown is where serious screenwriters become working professionals. Inside this private community, you'll learn how to write bulletproof screenplays that demand attention, create a personal brand that opens doors, attach talent to your projects without agents, build an audience of fans who champion your work, and much more. As of this recording, Buzztown only invites 8 to 10 new members each month, but you can join the wait list where you'll get an invite to live group calls, where you can connect with industry pros and even have one-on-one consultations with pro writing coaches. If you're ready to transform your screenwriting career, click the link in the description to join the waitlist today. We'll see you next week with a brand new video.